Ooh, golly day. Oh, wow. Potatoes. Great stuff, huh?
That is outrageous.
Began a while ago with Lenny Bruce and his famous routine about the dirty toilet. And then the move. The move, the
we
move.
know the move.
Oh, do I love the move. Fields of People. And you know who originally did that song?
Ars Nova?
Ars Nova. But the move took it and turned it into a phenomenal masterpiece. And then Love Sculpture, and that was none other than one of my all-time heroes, Dave Edmunds on the guitar. Dave Edmunds he's my, you know what, one of the reasons why he's my hero is because obviously from that song, which that was put out in 69, right?
Right.
1969 was when that came out. That was Mars and the Saber Dance. And obviously, even back then, he was, in fact, when that first came out, people thought that the tape was sped up and everything because it was so fast. Because by 1969 standards, that was pretty hot guitar playing for rock.
Actually, I think that song was done in one take, too.
Yeah, pretty hot guitar playing.
That's no overdub either. That's just him playing right through.
Right. For rock and roll guitar playing, that was pretty hot back then, and they thought he'd sped it up, and I once interviewed him, too. That was one of my... He was so nervous that he could hardly sit still. I was so nervous, and he was so nervous, we just about died on the spot.
Two giants meeting each other.
No, a nerd meeting a giant. But anyway, he said that in performance, they played it even faster than that. But the thing about that is that... The reason I like Dave Edmunds so much is that he's obviously a virtuoso, an absolute virtuoso musician.
Oh, sure.
And not to mention his work in the studio and his singing and everything else, but he could do anything he wanted to, really. But he's always stuck to good old regular 100% rock and roll.
Right. In fact, this album is so different from the first Love Sculpture album, which was a total blues record.
Right, it was called Blues Helping.
Right, and then he turns around and comes out with this, which was like totally different, but
right.
Still good.
But Dave Edmunds, in spite of the fact that he could probably do fusion or just anything he wanted, and he's stuck with good old rock and roll. And that's why he's a hero to me. And there is something special about garage bands, but there's also something special when a superb musician plays that simple, 3 or 4 chord type music. It really...
Very special.
And Dave Edmunds proves that. Well, this is WZIR Niagara Falls. I'm Gary Storm, and you're listening to Oil of Dog, and I'd like to wish an absolutely berserk hello to everybody in South Wales.
And now, Mike Submarines proudly presents Father Guido Space Gourmet. Father, tell us, how does it feel to be the first priest in space?
Great, really great. These Mike Submarines are really delicious, and these onions are fresh meats, cheese, shredded lettuce. And this special Mike oil is even smoother and creamier in outer space.
Father, tell us, has all that darkness, the 5 nights per orbit, had any effect on you at all?
No, as a matter of fact, these Mike Submarines taste even better late at night. And I just love it chasing around all of these little bits of shredded lettuce.
Mike's Submarines. They're a pleasure to eat. 17 different subs, hot and cold. Mike's, open 10 to 2 a.m. Monday through Thursday, till 4 in the morning, Friday and Saturday nights, and open on Sundays. Mike's Submarines, 2862 Delaware, just a minute north of Kenmore, and there's parking in the rear.
Well, my rear, too. All right. What am I saying? Oh, yeah, I should point out, maybe for those of you who are just tuning in, that this is the very last Oil of Dog in the history of the world.
No, it's not going to be. Temporarily the last Oil of Dog.
As far as I can see anyway, the WZIR is, as of tomorrow night, going to be changing its format to a station which will probably closely resemble 97 or something, one of those stations. It'll be a typical, as they say, AOR type format.
And for the uninitiated, that is album-oriented rock.
Or radio. And so, anyway, Oil of Dog is going, as well as Louie the Mad Vinyl Junkie and
he's already gone.
Prince Tony, John Farrell, all of us we've been told that we won't fit in with their new plans.
Well, I was never told, I just assumed.
Yeah. They never told you, Louie?
No, nobody has said a word to me.
How nice. Anyway,
Check is in the mail, I guess.
Don't call us, we'll call you. What?
Good song.
In any case, this is the very last Oil of Dog, and it's sort of a depressing occasion, I guess. For me, I love doing my show. I love turning people onto music, and I love playing music in ways that, while what I love is bending the limits of radio. I've heard that people at other stations are kind of happy about all this. I think it's because as long as something like this is going on, what they're doing, well, as long as there's people like you know, John Farrell and me and Louie, people who love being on the radio and love listening to the music that they play, we stand as a sort of contrast to the heartless mercantilism of it all, I guess. There's a beautiful book. It's called, believe it or not, even though it's called Sex and Broadcasting. It's by a guy named Lorenzo Millam. And he says that most commercial stations are just holes in the universe, holes in the airwaves for forging gold. And I still believe, though, and I always will believe, that a station like WZIR is a commercially viable thing, that a person who owns a station like this could very easily become wealthy if everything worked properly. Unfortunately, not everything did go well at WZIR, I guess, and as I said before, there are a lot of different people laying blame in different places, and it's all too late now anyway.
Yeah.
But I still believe that music is commercially viable. I believe that you can play music and make a living at it.
For sure.
And I'll always believe that. So in any case, this is the last Oil of Dog. I've been doing this show for 6.5 years. Actually, well, it's more like 6 years and 7 months precisely.
Long time.
And yeah, it is a long time. And I'm pleased to, as I say, have been part of the tradition of the Buffalo DJ. You've been a Buffalo DJ too, Louie.
I'm not a DJ, Gary.
So is John. John is part of that tradition too.
John is a DJ.
In fact, John is the only other person I know of in all of that I've ever met in radio who, you know, along with myself, has never really, you know, compromised what we believe radio should be. We've starved, literally, rather than do kind of radio that we don't like or that we don't think is right. And so...
Well, that's called integrity, I guess.
Well, it might be called stupidity, too.
No, no way.
It might be called banal, moronic idiocy.
No, no way.
Blind, stupid, starving idealism.
It's very impractical.
It's decidedly impractical. But that's what we've done. Come hell or high water, and they've both come. And they're both here, boy.
Well,
so
from my standpoint, all I got to say is that I feel real fortunate to have been between the two of you guys, you know. After John and before Gary. I bet a lot of people would have loved to have been able to have been in my position here.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have been sandwiched between two better shows or two better people.
Well, we couldn't have been the bread between a better piece of cheese.
We dug your act too, Louie.
Or whatever. All right, well, let's play some more of that stuff that
keeps us going.
Well, that's what I've been all about. I mean, there's different kinds of radio, but music has been my main concern, I guess. And John's, too.
All of us.
All right, in any case, this is some of the most achingly, sublimely beautiful... Will this tape go to Mark? If it goes to Mark, I know will like this. But if it doesn't, this goes to Mark anyway. The tape is over. We've run out of tape, so this isn't even on tape. But this is one of the most achingly, sublimely beautiful pieces I've ever heard.